Hey there, heroes. Welcome back to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. I'm your host today, President Mike. Joining me as always is my great friend Isaac Wolf. We're here talking some My Hero Academia Vigilantes. We're making our way through the series. I know they just had a chapter drop recently, but we're starting from the beginning, so we're kind of behind as far as that goes. But today we are covering 2 chapters for you guys. Chapter 3, Nice Guy Reborn, and Chapter 4, Honesty. So Isaac, this chapter, the Chapter 3, I guess we'll start with Nice Guy Reborn, opens up with Koichi, Knuckle Duster, and Pop Step on the streets as they're looking for more trigger users, the quirk boosting drug that we found out about in previous chapters. And they run into these 2 dudes on the street. And is it me, or are they clearly inspired by Wolverine and Cyclops?
It's like if Wolverine and Cyclops were a Yo-Yo Bizarre Adventure character in terms of designs.
Right? Yeah. It's just really funny to me.
I mean, the one that said the fuck you said it looks like Yutario if a hybrid of Yutaro and Joseph Yutaro and I can't recall the name, one of the most known, if not the most known, Yo-Yo character, and Wolverine and the face. It's from that's the dude that constantly shouting aura, but I digress. And you're absolutely right about the Cyclops part. I mean, the dude is even touching the moniker aspect, and something comes out of it, similar to Cyclops.
It's hilarious. This might be My Hero Academia always made references to other comics, but this might be the most blatant reference we've ever had, probably since Dr. Mario and Dr. Toad in the main series. The team we have here intervenes as they fight basically like a dollar store Gigantomachia using Trigger. This chapter was just like really action heavy for Vigilantes, which was a nice change of pace from the other 2 chapters, which was more character driven. But chapter 3, I feel like leads really nicely into chapter 4. We get to see Pop Step, Knuckle Duster, and Trigger again working together, trying to stop this villain, trying to discover more Trigger users. We also get a little bit of rebranding for Nice Guy, right? Which is why the chapter is called Nice Guy Reborn. Yeah. He goes with a new name, and it's, again, hilarious when we have X-Men references here that he takes on the name The Crawler, which is reminiscent of Nightcrawler, which I just think is funny. And it's like, guys, too obvious. That was an obvious call. But
I mean, isn't Spider-Man and X-Men the 2 major inspirations for My Hero Academia?
Yeah, you're not
wrong. Or am I mistaken?
You're correct. It's just they kind of hit us over the head this chapter with it, and it's like My Hero's not known for its subtlety, but come on, guys. But it was funny. It got a good laugh out of me. What do you think of the new name? Because I know you and Leo kind of made fun of the term "nice guy" before.
I mean, it works. Mm-hmm. It fits the context, but it's still rather silly, if that makes sense.
It's because, the crawler's not terrible. It's them saying the crawler like a donut, which, like, okay, you killed the name for me. I'm sorry, I can't take it seriously anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it. His quirk isn't exactly something that works for a hero. to be a big hero. It isn't something that you can use in combat. Right? At best, he could be some, I dare argue, assist, just transporting stuff, if that makes any sense.
He could be a rescue hero. Let's not forget Slide and Go, who's a member of the Liberation Front. He's similar to him too, I guess. But yeah, like
Good point.
One thing I do appreciate about My Hero is that quirks, it doesn't matter how strong you think a quirk is. Like, look at Aoyama. He's in Class A right alongside Todoroki, and he shoots a beam from his belly button, you know? And so I feel like he may not be a top hero, but he can still help out here or there. But they're vigilantes, so that's kind of out of the question. I want to know, because this chapter is very action heavy, so we have some great action panels here, which kind of leads us to chapter 4, episode 4, because they title these episodes Honesty. So in that chapter, President Mike shows up first page to tell us what a vigilante is, kind of give us some lore and some backstory here on how it works, on how once heroes became a legal profession, vigilantism was outlawed. And so now they are classified as criminals. And we mentioned this in like chapter 1. We were talking about how like in the Marvel universe or the DC universe, all heroes are considered vigilantes. So it's nice that we kind of see that concept was a thing and then it evolved over time here with vigilantes in My Hero Academia. In this chapter, we return to a little more low-key stakes as Koichi. We see his apartment. We see that Knuckle Duster and Pop Step just kind of waltz in uninvited. And Koichi is a character who I think, much like Deku, is very relatable in the sense that his life didn't go exactly as he wanted it to. He doesn't really have a lot of friends, so he kind of has this found family he's discovering with Pop Step and Knuckle Duster. Even though they don't always get along.
Like Spider-Man.
Yeah, kind of. Even though they don't always get along, they are still like a found family for him. And yeah, they butt heads here and there, but it's nice to see that he's quickly becoming at peace with their character dynamics instead of like dragging this out for 10 chapters of them not getting along and then having to figure things out. I kind of like that. We see Cyclops and Wolverine in this chapter again, and some bad flashbacks of Koichi trying to get people to have a party at his house. I just, these characters are older than the ones in My Hero Academia. How do you like the idea, Isaac, of like college life and everything for Koichi as opposed to high school life for Izuku?
It just, it's sort of like, how should I put it? It just goes and boils down to the whole Spider-Man part, and we can't do a college time with Midoriya later. Make something with another character, so we can. I'm just thinking of that kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, channel those stories into Koichi, since we can't really do that with Deku. And I get what you're saying. Like, think about it. Them being vigilantes, we find out that Knuckle Duster and Koichi have jobs outside of their hero work because they don't get paid for this. Like All Might, Endeavor, Eraserhead, all the other heroes we've met before, being a hero is their job. And so we, like you said, we have that balancing life and hero stuff that Koichi's going through. And it's funny because that's a trope that we get in every superhero story. But in the context of My Hero Academia, it's actually really refreshing. Kind of seeing how this works. Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, no spoilers in how about the original manga is now, but so far I actually feel like Vigilantes is kind of a and I'm not saying that OG manga is bad, but it's kind of a breath of fresh air in some regard due to all this.
Yeah, like I don't know what current day Vigilantes is because again, they just had a new chapter drop, like chapter 113 or something dropped like a week or two ago. And so I can't speak for the state of the manga now, but like you said, in stark contrast, if you guys have been following along with the discussions we've been doing weekly for the My Hero manga, it's really nice getting something street level. It's like Hawkeye's on Disney Plus right now, right? It's nice having a street level story as opposed to the Guardians of the Galaxy or all those big Avengers movies, because it reminds us of, you know, personal stakes. Like they're just trying to stop. They're basically just trying to stop drug dealers in their area. That's it. There's no all for one wanting to take over the country. Shigaraki wanting to destroy there's none of that really in this story so far.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll intersect eventually. But yeah, definitely breath of fresh air.
And who knows? Maybe there's a love scene between Knuckle Duster and Midnight at this point. Yes, what the hell is going on?
So I know we're kind of bouncing between chapters a little bit because they tie together so well, but I want to backpedal to chapter 3 because I did forget to bring up one point. We meet Tsukuuchi, which is pretty cool. All Might's detective friend from the main series. He's here investigating Trigger and notices that all these Trigger users are getting beat up by unsanctioned heroes. So he's now kind of on the trail of these vigilantes and the Trigger. So that's kind of cool. I like how we're taking supporting characters from the main story and just having them pop up once in a while. Like nothing major, but like Tsukuichi showing up was a pretty cool ad, as opposed to the random shot. I don't know if you've noticed this, Isaac, but the random shot of Deku and All Might in chapter 3. How did you feel about that one? That was kind of like, oh, we're doing
what
that. Huh?
Shot?
Pull up chapter 3, page 30.
Yeah, I mean, these chapters are so long, so...
Yeah, I want to see if I can log into my Viz right quick and just share the screen. But yeah, Deku makes an appearance in chapter 3, which is funny to me. And I'm surprised you didn't catch that. I wonder how many people kind of just overlooked it. Give me 1 second here, guys.
I mean, then again, you have an eye for details that I totally... Oh, I see what you mean there. Going back at it.
Yeah, hold on. Hopefully they do not sue us for showing this screen here. 1 second. So
I mean, if that was the case, they should have attacked us using part of the manga chapter as the thumbnail.
Yeah, so you see right here, it says every kid wants to be a hero, but in reality, it's not like anyone can be a hero. And it's like, au contraire. I think that's a cool detail because this tells us that Deku is going to meet All Might soon. All Might's wearing a cape, and he doesn't wear a cape when he interacts with Deku in season 1 of My Hero Academia. So this is telling us that this is probably like a year before All Might meets Deku. He's just flying around the city, and Izuku's admiring his hero as always. So the timelines, like we might start crossing over depending how far we get in Vigilantes. With the main series, we just might see them like during the training arc or something like that, something that is in the past, which I think is kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, just a question. I don't know. You had read 7 chapter, right?
Yeah, we're catching up to where I stopped because I knew we were gonna start doing this show.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, are they going to do, how should I put it, a Jim Gordon with the All Might's a bit friend, and he's going to use Knuckle Duster as a personal sort, just behind the scenes.
It's
If you get what I mean.
possible, like team up with Sukuchi. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see
because
that being a possibility.
I mean, how should I put it? It's this might sound weird, but uh, if you know that said vigilante is only out for getting something you are out for, you might as well. It's sort of, I wouldn't call it the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of deal, but you get my point.
Yeah, it's like you said, like Jim Gordon. It's like we have these people who are legally helping us, but we might need to request help from these vigilantes to do things that we can't. It's kind of like the Young Justice Batman, where he's like, "Hey, the Justice League can't do this, but I'm going to send Robin and Superboy to do this for me," type of deal. Not getting into the current state of the manga either, but like they might need some extra hands. Wouldn't be surprised if Sukuichi's like, "Hey, I know a couple guys."
Yeah, it's honestly one of the reasons why I confused why a certain aspect even got introduced with the next recent chapter, but that's something for the next My Hero Academia episode.
Yeah, guys, if you aren't caught up on My Hero Academia, we just did chapter 335. If you want to check that out, that was something. That was something.
Yeah.
But we're not spoiling My Hero manga here at Vigilantes, just in case you guys are anime onlys. But yeah, I like the low stakes feel so far with Vigilantes. I feel like it's clearly going to ramp up later because we have to get to the source of the trigger, and that might be a reveal all on its own. I do think it's interesting how like Knuckle Duster's a scrapper and kind of got this like boxer vibe going on with him. Do you think he's going to start training Koichi and Pop Step, because Koichi is already calling him sensei?
Yeah, he is training them because while they might have some form of usable abilities, they clearly don't have anything known as combat knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah, like
if you want to be a hero or vigilante, you need to be able to fight to defend yourself and all that jazz.
Yeah, and they aren't the best team as of now. They're still in the dysfunctional family stage and not the we're operating as a unit stage. But yeah, it's very classic superhero storytelling here, and that's what makes it fun. But that's also like it's why we enjoyed My Hero Academia, right? Because My Hero was so different. But My Hero's gone on for so long. Now it's kind of cool going back to basics with these superhero stories. It's weird how that works. It's a very yin and yang, push and pull type of deal with Vigilantes and the main series, My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna. I don't know what I was gonna say. So.
Okay. No worries. It'll come back to you.
I lost the track of word.
I was just gonna ask, like, in these 2 chapters, we've seen Pop Step kind of have some crazy fanboys. Do you think there's gonna be a running theme with this story?
Yeah. Yeah. All things considered. I
Yeah.
mean, have you seen the clothes?
Yeah, that's like, you got to be creepy. That's all I'm saying. Like, this is 2 chapters straight where dudes were kind of being a little weird. And it's like, hey, back off, creeps. It just felt really weird in this 4th chapter that it's like, this was our villain of the week. Some eel dude who just wants to shake hands with Pop Step.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, yeah. I mean, her dress looks like it's something from a BDSM BDSM Comic Con or something, but yeah, hopefully she gets an upgraded suit soon.
That's the thing about vigilantes. I don't know if they'll ever really get upgraded gear because they aren't licensed heroes, so they're gonna probably have to make it all themselves.
Yeah, when I'm talking upgraded, I'm talking more her being more modest. Or what's the word?
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That's your thing. But modest was the word you're looking for.
Probably. What did you say?
No, I'm just saying modest was the word you were looking for, and I don't think that's going to happen with her anytime soon.
Unfortunately, yeah. But I mean, making your villain blush and not able to talk is some way to defend yourself, I suppose.
I mean, isn't that how Naruto got a jump on Kaguya of all people?
Yeah.
He threw in a reverse harem.
That's a good
jutsu.
point. I wonder if that was sort of like a inside meta joke, considering all the harem animes and all that. Yes, but I digress.
Don't want to think about it.
Neither did I.
But yeah, like again, these 2 chapters, one was very action heavy, one was a little more character driven. I kind of liked us combining the 2 for this episode because I think they play really well off each other, especially like with President Mike explaining how vigilantes operate and work in this universe, in contrast to All Might, who we even get to see in one of these chapters, which was kind of cool. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we end this video and be back next week for chapter 4?
No, I don't really know what else to ask because, well, the show has just begun, so it isn't much to say, so to speak, to some extent.
Yeah.
It's probably when we have more stuff to say, when more stuff happens, it's going to be more to talk about. But even with that said, I do enjoy what I'm reading so far.
That's awesome. And guys, that if you're reading along with us on Viz, chapter 3, I believe, was the last of the free chapters. So if you want to continue along, you're just gonna have to subscribe to Viz to continue reading over here on the state side, at least. That is gonna wrap it up for My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Again, that was chapter 3 and 4. We're gonna be back next week with chapter 5, maybe chapter 6. Once we read chapter 5 to see if we need to double up again. Our friend Leo Rydell couldn't make it this time, but he's been reading along. He's going to join back up with us when he's available. So make sure you follow him at Leo_Rydell and subscribe to Geekly Goods. Follow our friend Brandon Alvarado at the Scarlet Fan 52 over here at the Amateur Otaku. And you can catch the Amateur Otaku podcast on Twitter at Amateur Otaku Pod. Isaac, I know we got some more My Hero, some more Vigilantes. What else you and Brandon got cooking over here, though?
Well, unless Brandon is getting stuck in the Speed Force again, we are this week we are going to record Violet Evergarden, the movie, which makes you a total emotional train wreck, but that's besides the point. And we are talking about covering Arcane and the more JoJo as soon as possible, considering Stone Ocean is arriving this week. So that's always fun.
That's gonna be a bizarre adventure, isn't it?
Indeed.
I was the one with the bad pun this time. See how that works?
The universe works in a mysterious way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you guys can follow me at Novice Cinephile on the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at the Novice Cinephile. Subscribe to YouTube. My channel is Novice Cinephile. You can check out everything over there. We're going to be back next week. My Hero Academia, chapter 336. My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Episodes 5 and maybe 6. We'll see how things go when we get there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to tell us your thoughts on this video and what other manga or anime you want us to cover. We'd love to hear your suggestions. Take you guys. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.